Oh yeah, we have a lot to cover. We have a lot to talk about. What is going on, YouTube? I'm Choctopus, and we're here to talk about the latest update patch notes in Pokemon Duel. There have been some pretty significant stat balances for certain figures. There's new plates, there's new orange boosters. There's a lot of stuff, and we're going to break it down category by category. But first, let's talk about the figures that received stat balances. Now, not to bore you with all the details, you might want to take your time and read through all the notes, but I could tell you right off the bat that the figures that are receiving balances in these patch notes are their buffs. So if you look at Aggron is receiving a significant damage buff. I'm not going to go through everything because I don't feel like reading it to you. Armaldo receives a nice buff, especially Iron Tail going from 40 to 70, and Skarmory. So as you can tell, you have, all these Pokemon, and if you look down here, you have Golem, Graveler, Geodude, Rhyhorn, and Magnemite. That's a minor buff. They were receiving a smaller miss piece on their wheel. So if you take a look at the commonalities between these Pokemon, you have Steel, you have Rock. So it's being predicted now that the next gym is going to be Steel and Rock, which I wouldn't really throw it past them. We're kind of in some kind of pattern here that happens, from every week or every other week. But if I had to guess, and don't quote me on it, but I'm sure we'll have more solid evidence in the next week or, when it actually starts. So we're looking at a Steel Rock gym prediction right now, which would be a nice change. So those are the figures that received balances. Now, I don't know how they're going to play into the current meta, but I could see them becoming more prominent in the gym. So let's move on and let's talk about the orange boosters, which were previously water. Now it looks like the featured EXs that you can get from the orange boxes are Metagross and Rhyperior. Great, because I don't have either of those, and it's pissing me off that I've yet to pull any of them. So orange boxes, changing it up. I'm kind of getting a little frustrated with the way that they're doing things. I feel like we need to shake things up a little bit. We're getting the new orange box every week. Every other week is a rotating gym. Like, once they finish with all the gyms and all the types, what's next? I know there's this carnival, which I honestly know nothing about, but I heard that there's some kind of carnival thing that happens. I don't know if it's in Japan, but hopefully they can bring it to us. I'll do some research. I need to know exactly what that is because I don't. Also, please forgive me if I am a little loopy today. I just worked a 14-hour shift, and then I'm coming home and I am recording, so I'm a little loopy right now. Let's talk about the new plates that are in the shop. So we have a Steel Energy plate, another nod to possibly having a Steel gym. You have that. You have a Burn Drive W. You have a Douse Drive W, which both of these are for Genesect. Then you have a Chill Drive W, a Shock Drive. So it looks like they're really trying to get people to use Genesect. I get it. Genesect is a pretty crappy figure right now, and they're trying to give it everything that they can because they, I guess they want people to use Genesect. I have two of them. I don't even use them. But, each one of these, they do different things. It looks like they affect different types when you're against them. So Chill Drive, for instance, is also if the fainted battle opponent is a grass type, ground, flying, or dragon, they will be excluded from the duel. Okay, that's cool. Then you have Shock Drive. So basically, if you're running Genesect, you need to kind of count on running one or two of these because you want to try and eliminate as many Pokemon as you can, I'm guessing. So it looks like a lot of the plates here are towards Genesect, and then you have your Steel Energy plate. Let's see. Which, during this duel, your Steel-type Pokemon cannot become poisoned or noxious, and the damage of one of each of those Pokemon's most highly damaging... I wish they wrote this better. White attacks that normally deals at least 10 damage is increased. You get extra 10 damage on the highest. Your turn ends. That was really confusing to read. Alright, so now let's talk about the meat and potatoes of this update, the new figures, and we're going to break them down one by one, and we're going to take a look at all of their stats and their wheel pieces and everything. Okay, so hopping into the recommended booster, let's see. First, we have Cobalion, and I apologize if I'm butchering any of these. Your first EX, Cobalion. This Pokemon and your Pokemon adjacent to the Pokemon are not knocked out by gold attacks from their battle opponents. That's a pretty cool passive. So basically, if you have this Pokemon and another neighboring Pokemon like right next to it, if you're attacked, you know, primarily with let's say a Sceptile. Sceptile has a pretty large gold piece, or Grovyle, pretty large gold piece, and they hit it, you won't be knocked out. So that's pretty cool. Taking a look at its wheel, you have Sword of Justice, kind of like Virizion. Clocking in at 101, you have 2 dodge pieces, 2 miss pieces, and a quick attack. So it is a pretty good, you know, it's a pretty good figure right off the bat. The miss rate is really low, and you could even significantly drop that by leveling it up. So Cobalion is a decent EX to pull. But here's the one that I'm hearing most about so far, and I'm just looking at these patch notes probably for the first time. So you have Terrakion, who is rock and fighting. All the blue attacks of the opponents become misses. So is it all the blue attacks of the battle opponents of this Pokemon? So if you're fighting someone that has primarily blue attacks, like let's say you're up against a Crobat, who is super annoying to go up against, or a Greninja, who has a very large dodge piece, they're all going to become misses. So this is a really good Pokemon, you know, to counter any of those Pokemon with blue attacks. This is really going to hurt my Whimsicott, who I love to use. I love my Whimsicott on my team, but Terrakion is going to destroy. So it has 2 protect pieces where this Pokemon will gain weight, 2 miss pieces, also not that bad, only about 12% of the wheel. And then you have Stone Edge and Sword of Justice. So this thing deals a lot of damage. It has a great passive. It's 2 move points, so it's not that slow. And with the upcoming gym, if it is Steel Rock, this is going to be a 3 move point Pokemon. Terrakion is going to be unfreaking stoppable. But this is what I'm going to be trying to pull when we do our quad opening videos, because that thing looks OP. Okay, then you have Noivern, who is Flying and Dragon. If this Pokemon has evolved, all the gold attacks of this battle opponents become white attacks. So that's pretty cool. It looks like a lot of the figures that they're releasing in this update and this banner they have a passive that affects your opponent's wheel. So that's pretty cool. You know, affects your gold attacks, can't knock them out, or it changes your blue attacks. Here it's going to change your gold attacks to white. And taking a look at the wheel, 8, you know, another Pokemon, another EX that has a very low miss rate. It has Boom Burst, which an opposing Pokemon adjacent to the battle opponent spins. If it spins a gold attack, it's knocked out. So it looks like they're really trying to combat like blue and gold attacks with this this banner, which is pretty dope. All right, then you have Dodge, you have Hurricane, which kind of seems to be like your opponent's flying type. Sorry, I'm reading. Your opponent's flying type Pokemon on the field gain weight 3. Okay, so it's not like what's his name's Hurricane? Lugia. So basically, this is a good counter for a flying deck, because especially the legendaries. This is a really good counter for the legendaries, because all you have to do is spin that, and they all hit weight. That's awesome. So I'm really stoked about these EXs. You know, these are really nice. All right, then you have your rares. You have Ninjask, which this Pokemon can MP move through. They need to write this better. This Pokemon can MP move through Pokemon that have weight. If this Pokemon has evolved, this Pokemon on your bench gains 1 move point. Okay, so it comes out with 1 move point, I guess. So it comes out with 4. Kind of like the Speed Deoxys. Now, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. But that's what I'm taking away from this. And also, it looks like a good Pokemon to combo with Noivern, who will give weight to flying Pokemon. So it looks like there's some good synergy here. Let's see. Taking a look at the wheel, you have Double Edge. This Pokemon and battle opponent knocked out. So 2 dodges and a Night Sight. If this Pokemon is not knocked out, you may switch with one of your Oh, that's cool. So there's a lot of good synergy, and I like what they're doing with the new banner. All right, so that's not all. We have more. Galvantula. Okay, I'm afraid of spiders, first of all, so I don't know if I'll ever use I will. I have to. The opponent's Pokemon that have passed over this Pokemon by using Fly, Fly Away, Soar become paralyzed. Okay, cool. Yeah, so it looks like, summing up what's going on with this banner, they're really trying to combat blue, gold, and the legendary birds, which is awesome because I'm sick of seeing all the Zapdos and Moltres, even though I use the Zapdos. Taking a look at the wheel, we have Electro Ball. If the opponent is paralyzed, deal 2 times damage. Oh, so if they fly over you and then you damage them, it's 120. That's awesome. Okay, then you have Electric Thread. The battle opponent becomes paralyzed. The battle opponent gains weight 3. Pretty cool. 12 miss and 8 dodge. And then, last... Oh, no, we have a couple more. We have a Heatmore, which is... I don't even know what that is. What kind of Pokemon is that? No passive, but Melt and Eat. That sounds horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. If this Pokemon, or if the battle opponent type is Steel, this Pokemon takes no damage. I can't read. I'm so sorry. This Pokemon takes no damage, and the opponent is knocked out. If the battle opponent is Durant, exclude that Durant from the duel. Okay, cool. So it looks like if you're going against a specific Pokemon, you can just delete it. Pretty dope. Searing Shot, kind of like Charmeleon, you know, opponent becomes burned. Fire Blast 60. This seems like a little more of a niche Pokemon. I don't know, you know, how viable it's going to be. And Durant, which is the Pokemon that they were discussing that you can just delete, has a passive if there is an adjacent Durant. So being that they're ants, it looks like they work together, and you could have multiple. If there is an adjacent Durant, this Pokemon's white attacks become gold. Ooh, that's a really nice team play attack. And like I said, I'm reading this for the first time. White attacks become gold while this Pokemon is on the field. It can move over any other Durant. Oh, you could have 6 of these. This is going to be a fun deck. We're going to do a straight-up ant deck, a Bug's Life, right here, right now. Okay, so he has Guillotine. Opponent is just straight-up knocked out. Iron Head, Rock Slide, all neighboring Pokemon spin. Okay, so maybe this Pokemon's pretty good for an uncommon. And you could have 6 of them, so I'm hoping to pull 6 of them and just use them, and we're just going to do a straight-up Durant deck. All right, you know, there's a lot of cool stuff going on here, and like I said, it looks like they're really trying to mix up the meta right now from all the legendaries and the gold and blue attacks, but that was a mouthful. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this banner? You know, I think there's a lot of cool stuff going on. Also, did you pull any of the featured EXs or Pokemon from this banner? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. As always, thanks for watching my content. Thanks for your support. Let's continue to grow and continue to form a great community, especially in my Discord channel. If you want to join that, you know, it's in the description below, along with my social media accounts. Feel free to follow me on a daily basis, but not in real life to my door, please. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one, I hope. And that's it. We'll see you on the duel field. Peace.